never inside. Where you going, boy? Never inside. Where you at? Never inside. Inside.
The never inside theory. Are we going outsiding? That's the theory. Let's outside. Outside ain't easy. The PBros are back.
All right. Here we are. Right?
That's right. Cheers.
Cheers. We are here at the Never Inside, outside, temporary, in the field shack.
Hilltop Shack.
The Hilltop. That's right. The Never Inside Hilltop Shack. And it's a good day. It's beautiful out here.
Day. It's way better under the easy up.
Dude.
So we first were like, dude, it'll be all right. We'll just go under the sun. So we went back to the house, quick easy up. We got our trusty steeds with us, Blue Steel.
I love it.
Which I finally landed on a name. So if any of you don't know, because we're old and you're younger, that came from Zoolander.
That's right.
Which is a classic.
Let me give you an example.
Blue Steel. That's perfect.
That's the one.
Nailed it.
You like it? Was it good?
That was good.
All right.
And then, of course, Luke's Beast.
It's all dirty. I got the twigs on here. Alrighty.
It's pretty cool that we're about 10, 15 minutes from the house.
Yeah.
So,
as you can see, there's houses. There's even some warehouses. Oh, no, that's not warehouses. Well, there are warehouses. Those are actually hangars because that is the French Valley Airport,
right.
Which is 10 minutes from my house, much like this hill is, in a little slightly different direction. So we decided, okay, so here's what happened. Here's really what happened, all right? My computer took a shit on me.
Yeah.
And it's not reliable. Probably would have been fine, but we decided.
So we're like, if we're going to go through all the hassle of trying to set up a different way of recording and cameras and all that, we might as well do it outside.
That's it. I mean,
we probably should have been the first thought. So I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah. It's a lot of work to do every week.
Yeah.
The outsiders are saying every week, like, oh, really? Every week?
Yeah. It was a great idea. It's beautiful out here. We got a chance to do a little wheeling up the side of the mountain. So not every car could have gotten up here. So we needed these guys a little bit.
That's right.
Which is cool.
And we do apologize for it not being every week. As much as we'd like to just pump these things out for you guys. And I think that we'll have more of you guys there if we did.
We missed last week, had some things going on. Unfortunately, slow burn, if you guys remember, broke her ankle. Now, technically it was outsiding. Okay, but I'll tell you the story. Very similar. We were coming down, going back to our house, and we saw our friends on the tractor. So we're like, let's pull over and go, fuck around with the tractor, and maybe we could drive it. And we got off the side of the road, and we may have been drinking Bloody Marys. We can't confirm nor deny that. And she rolled her ankle down the side of the thing to go out to the tractor. And so we got back into the car and went home. And then the doctor the next morning, she got to get a cast, but she'll be fine. That is some of the risks you take when going outside.
when leaving anything resembling shelter ever.
Or a couch.
Or a couch.
You got to be careful.
It's
out in the wild.
This world ain't for soft people.
That's
all right.
And,
anytime you move,
you
better be ready.
Yeah.
You better be ready because it's going to get you.
But we got out anyways. Since we're there, let's start out with a little update on Blue Steel here.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Let's hear about Blue Steel.
It looks magnificent in the sun.
That's the biggest update.
So back to you, Luke. No, it's if you watch some of the other podcasts, of course, there's a film of us kind of going up and doing our thing. So the rack is new. The front bar, what am I trying to say? The light?
The light bar.
The light bar. And then those are mounts for my high lift jack that I got. Now, as you can probably tell if you've done any of this, that is not a very expensive rack.
What are you talking about? I thought it was top of the line.
I know it. I found it on OfferUp.
You know what's funny is can anyone see your truck?
Do this one right here.
Oh, okay.
High lift jack. Got the rack off of OfferUp for like $170. It's like $190 online. But I felt like I got a deal.
It's pure titanium.
It's Chinesium. So,
oh boy!
But I was like, all right, this is cool. Now I will say that we can go camping with it. We can put tubs and tents, wrapped up tents, and our chairs go anywhere. So it's great. But the high lift jack is actually much heavier than I thought it was going to be. And if I put it on there, it kind of droops a little. It'll be fine, but I'm very quickly starting to see why the good racks are $1,000.
You're definitely not putting a rooftop tent on those things.
No. So works perfectly for now. I still like it. It gets the job done. And then I have a light bar on the back bumper, which you can't see, facing backwards. So when we're out camping, I need to light up somebody behind me, or if somebody's tailgating me, I can light that bad boy up and blind them for a couple seconds so they have time to think about what they've done.
Right before they crash and die.
Right before they crash and die. So pretty good.
Now okay? So I got to ask, what is this is all cool, and I know that a lot of this is for you. Isn't you're not worried so much about like, oh, I've got the best equipment or whatever. This is a fun hobby. Right?
It is a hobby, and ultimately it was to go overlanding. I think I've landed on the overlanding part.
Right.
So we went last weekend, a couple weekends ago, to look for lifts, get information about lifts.
Just kicking tires.
So it turns out that this particular Jeep has it. I think it's called a unibody. Kind of familiar with it, meaning there's no frame. So what happens is when you turn one of these Jeeps into a higher end rock crawler type situation, then the whole thing tends to bend because there's no metal frame. There's just a unibody and it twists, and then the doors don't close right, and the rear tailgate. This isn't doing anything to it, just the way it is. If you were to take it off anything extreme, it would twist up, which was kind of a bummer because I had grand plans for it. But then I started thinking, really, what did I want? Overlander. It's going to work fine. Luke and I are going to put a 3-inch lift on it.
Yeah.
Maybe next week we're going to go get the kit. So we talked to some mechanics in town. They said it's fine for kind of mid-level camping off-roading. So I'm like, all right, cool, that'll work. We'll lift it up a little bit, get some cool tires on it. I talked to another guy that is going to take the front doors off for no other reason than I think it looks really cool.
And that's kind of what I was getting to, earlier, is that everything that you're doing right now isn't necessarily because that's it's a functional thing that you're doing that's going to make it function, in a better way to be more realistic to use out in the wild. It's because it looks cool.
So far, or because
or because it's just something you've always wanted to do, right, or something like that. And and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I definitely went right for some flashy, cool things to do. But it's super fun. So we'll do that. We'll probably lift it up a little bit, get some, maybe some bigger wheels, pull the doors off.
You definitely need different wheels.
Yeah, rooftop tent. And then I think that will be crazy fun. I got a new head unit to go inside, working on that, put new speakers on the back kind of speaker bar up on the front toward the back. So we'll have music in there.
Gotta have music. The Muzak.
But it has been it's been fun. It's been crazy fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
I just go boning off in the dirt roads off the side of the road and fishtail a little around. It's perfect. So, yeah. So that's the update. I would like to think that we may be able to put a lift on it as soon as next Thursday. No, possibly. You're going camping.
No, yeah, I won't be around.
So there's a good segue.
Yeah, it's a segue if I ever heard one.
If we're not going to lift this, what are we going to be? What are you going to be doing?
Well, funny you should mention that.
Yeah.
Well, I am going on the Rogue River Trail trip that I've been talking about.
That's exciting.
For a while here, since Jason Malcolm was on the podcast about panning for gold. Yeah, I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. I've been doing these trips, so I've been doing this a long time, as everyone knows, and I have everything I need, right? But for some reason, when there's a new trip coming up, you just feel like you need all new stuff.
Of course. There's no better reason
to
get new stuff because you got a new thing.
So I got some new stuff. most of the stuff was good though. Like, my backpack's still practically brand new. The one thing, and I've talked about this before, is the quilt versus the sleeping bag. So that's the one thing that's really been on my mind a lot since the last trip, and it's just because I've heard about it, and I've been learning about it, and it's such a cool idea. So now, granted, in order to make it really like the full effect with all the luxuries, you do have to go and get the not matching, but you have to get a equally well-designed sleeping pad.
It sounds like a little bit of a somebody designed the outcome.
How to get more money from me?
Yes, where you're like, this is what it is. You do have to get this mat, which I asked you how much the mat costs, which is about as much same as the sleeping bag itself. So
if you care, go look it up. It's a Nemo.
Yeah. So technically,
mat.
Yeah. So I mean, you're going to be nice and comfy on the trail.
So check this out. So it's not. The idea was always appealed to me because it was a blanket, right? Instead of just being a sleeping bag, the mummy bag it's awesome for your feet, like when it's cold, because your feet are together and they stay warmer, like that. But it's not. I am a claustrophobic person, so it's always bugged me, right? I'm also a side sleeper and I move around a lot, so it's always the this and this and you're you can never. Like, I want to just unzip and pull one leg out so I can be, like, feeling nice and comfy, but you can't do that in a money bag. And, it's something you just deal with, and I've always dealt with.
If you unzipped a money bag trying to think it would stay over you, you would very quickly end up completely away from it, I feel like.
Yeah. Now, I've been one leg out, but that's when it's nice weather and you're not worried about it. So this thing is cool because you can get different ones, but the particular one I got is a Enlightened Equipment. I can't remember the model, but it's like Revelation or something like that. So it's got the bottom, actually the whole thing you can put together with just like connections. It's not a zipper, right? So the bottom is connected, kind of. It's got a foot box, which is where you can put your feet to stay warm. So it's to make sure it stays enclosed, or you can do that all the way up, so it can be like a regular sleeping bag if you want it to.
It's
like
just connections and not a zipper,
right?
But enough that it keeps it sealed,
right? If you're laying on that seal, if that makes sense. So it was like when you're in a mummy bag or any sleeping bag, the zipper's on the side, right?
Right.
If where the zipper would be and it's just connections, if you're laying on that, then I'm guessing that's where you don't have to worry about drafts and stuff like that. The reason I say that is because it's designed to be able to undo most of it except for the foot box, and then there's straps that go around your sleeping pad, and those connections also can connect to those straps, so you can open it up like a regular blanket and only the edges are connected, so you're just laying on the pad itself. Does that make sense?
I think I follow.
So it stays connected like this.
You're going to have to take a picture while you're there.
Here's the sleeping pad.
Right.
Here's the quilt. Here's you. So you can move around, you can spin around, and everything just stays in place, and you're spinning inside it like you are in your bag. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, I'm not describing this the best, but...
No, I got it.
Hopefully someone else gets it, too.
Yeah.
But it sounds pretty cool to me.
I want to see the spinning, so if you can set up your tripod while you guys are out there spinning in your bag.
I'll see what I can do. So the next thing that's worth talking about is that I also got a 20-degree bag, right? So it was
not the one I have, bag, but it's 20.
It's a 20-degree bag. Okay. Yeah, sorry. The one I've been using for a long time, and I'm pretty sure the one I had before it was always like a 40 degree, because I typically don't go in that cold of weather. Not that I'm afraid to, but it was just not something I
have one also like that, and it does end up being like I could be a little warmer.
Yes.
Every time I feel like I could be a little warmer.
Well, usually you just like if that's the case, then you just stay in your clothes.
Right. Which is exactly what we do. I just crawl in fully. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So I got a 20 degree, so I can be a little more warm when I need to, and then if it's even colder than that, I can just stay in my clothes. But That's too hot for summertime, right? That's going to be too hot.
Yeah, for sure.
But it unfolds complete to a blanket.
Right.
So now you're just laying on your pad with your blankie that you just freaking do whatever you want with, dude. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
So it's like it'll be perfect for everything. And I'm super excited to try it out. Again, I had a sleeping bag, but it's the quilt itself is lighter than the sleeping bag I had. Even though it's warmer and it's like goose down,
which is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's my sleeping pad is about, we were checking out, I haven't looked at the specs, but it feels about the same weight as my other sleeping pad that I had, but it's 3 inches thick,
Right.
and it's got these little metal, I don't know if they're metal, but it's got these little deflector things inside it that deflect the heat back up and the cold down.
Nice, because that's
So that and vice versa in the summer, it actually has those things in there for that, and so it's an all season pad too. So you're gonna be it's gonna be the most comfortable thing I've ever slept on.
You're ready to go, dude.
I can't wait.
You guys are gonna be hiking though. What, 10 miles a day?
Like 14.
14 miles a day?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which isn't.
Sorry, dude. I gotta work. I'd totally do it if I didn't have to.
Right.
Work. But that's good though.
It's really not that bad though. 14 miles. I mean, it's a good hike, but it's not. That's kind of where it's like, okay, it starts getting hard now, but I can make another 10 if I have to. But now it's like, all right, we've accomplished a lot today,
Yeah.
and we can feel good about ourselves, but let's go ahead and relax.
I am excited, or would like to be there because you're following the Rogue River, and it's always a river right there. So at any time you can stop.
I mean, you're going up and down next to it, but yes, you're.
I love water.
Constant,
being near
I'm
water.
guessing you're.
And the Rogue River has a little bit of a special place in our hearts because we grew up in Grants Pass, Oregon.
Well, we lived there.
Or not grew up there, but we were there a couple of years and are moving around
Right.
time. And man, great times.
Yes.
Yeah,
we talked about it a little bit on one of the podcasts.
and because rapids, and I was in high school, and so going down the river with your little girlfriend at the time and stuff, and then your buddies and all that. I mean, just good memories. So
yeah, it's
that'd be cool to go there.
It's gonna be really cool. So that's one thing that I've learned, since leading up to this thing, is that there's actually apparently it's a pretty busy trail area because
Right.
that part of the Rogue River, I guess, is real big for river rafting, and whitewater rapids and stuff like
So
that.
you'd be seeing.
So there's lots of that, but there's also
Other
a lot of
hikers.
people walking along it because it's popular. So it's a little crowded apparently, but there is, of course, always a little.
I was about to say, you got some news today.
Last night, yesterday, just randomly, one of the guys that's going sent a message to the text chain saying that there's a slide and the trail is considered closed. Like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Right.
I got a plane ticket up there.
Yeah.
I've been buying all this gear. I mean,
Yeah.
not that it matters. The plane ticket would piss me off, but the rest of it, it's all going to get used the rest of my life, so I'm never worried
Right.
about that. But
still,
it's
a big
it's
trip.
like, really, dude?
Yeah.
But anyway, turns out Jason knows a guy that he works for the BLM. And actually is in charge of like the last 12 miles of that trail. So he's talked to him, and the guy said, yeah, it's there, but for some Marines shouldn't be a problem, basically.
Right. Is everybody that's going with you, a little bit more advanced to you're not going to be carrying someone on your back, I guess is where I'm going with that.
Well, I'm not carrying anyone on my back.
Right.
These aren't my friends. Now I have carried shit for my friends.
Right.
Because
exactly.
it's my friend.
You've carried shit for me.
Yes.
Yes.
But
this time you're not.
this time I'm the stranger, dude.
Yeah, you're
Stranger danger.
I
Stay
don't-
away from me.
I don't know how you're going to get this dude over there, but I'll meet you on the other side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now it's funny you say that because there's I feel like there's always at least one in the group.
Oh, for
There's the
sure.
guy that's immediately in the text chain like, well, we should probably not go. Can't be. That looks pretty dangerous. Let's go ahead and call the whole thing off.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, we're gonna figure it out, dude.
Yeah,
And if we don't, then whatever. But
no, and for everybody else, you all just smile when you hear the news. You're like, challenging.
yeah, that's how I am.
You're like,
Exactly.
You're like, fuck yeah, dude.
Like,
It's going to be different than anybody that's been on that trail because this is the first time that particular thing
Yep.
has slid down. So it's completely like
yeah.
something new. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and Jason's already talking about bringing ropes and shimmying. One of us shimmying
He's
across.
He's going to make a rope, rope bridge like from one over the crevasse and be like,
we should do a rope swing
and swing everybody.
Yeah, just I don't know. We'll see.
All right,
I'm getting a little
we got a
silly
little
here.
carried away. A little excited about that.
It's this liquid death is getting to me.
Yeah,
It's really starting to kick
you get a
in.
little hydrated over there.
A little extra
Get a
hydrated.
little too hydrated. Just bring it down a notch.
Yeah, I got to lay off on this stuff.
So cool. No, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
So another thing that's really cool about this whole aspect, or another aspect that's really cool about this whole trip, is that I've got because of my lack of ever being satisfied with enough hobbies,
Right.
and my all the venturing into the podcast world and video editing and all this stuff, and doing getting into trading things for tattoos. I have in case anyone doesn't know, I have another YouTube channel that's just started, another big deal, but it's called Tat Trade. So I trade tattoos for everything.
Right.
That's how I got that camera, and that's how I got that camera.
Yeah.
Bought that phone.
Yeah.
But so I got the video camera first for the podcasting, but I got that camera because I wanted another angle to be able to shoot from. But that's also a really good freaking cool like beginner super fancy photographer camera.
Right.
So now I've already done a couple trades for some extra lenses. I got a super wide angle lens. And the guy that I got it from, I did the trade. He's got like experience. Like that's his thing is photographing the night sky while he's out backpacking.
Yeah.
He said this lens is the shit, So while he was there getting the tattoo, he showed me where to put my settings, so that I can sit there and do like where it just opens up and stays for like a minute or two.
Dude, it'd be cool if you could do a separate one.
Seconds,
I love it where it faces up, and then because
the
Earth is spinning, it makes these little like line things. So something like that would be cool.
Yeah, so that's stuff that I'm gonna learn how to do. I'm gonna just play with while I'm out there, because I got once we stop for the day, what else are you gonna do?
Sure.
Fish a little bit, and then do some photography-ing. So I got a new tripod that it's light. It's for hiking, and I got it's not here. I got this cool little thing that goes. It like clamps down like this, and it's got like a buckle, so you can put it anywhere you want. You can put it on your belt. You can put it right here, but it's got the little connection that screws to the bottom of your camera. So I can just take my camera and it just click, and it just stays right there while I'm walking, hiking,
cool.
And I can just grab it real quick anytime I want and pull it out and take pictures. So so photography is going to be my new thing. I don't know if landscape photography has ever really like been something that I realized I would like. But riddle me this. How many times have you been to a super cool place and you're like, it's so beautiful, and you take pictures, and even while you're taking the pictures, you're like, the pictures never do it justice. Right. And then you get home and you're showing everyone, and it just looks like some picture on your phone, and it just never does it justice.
Right.
I want to learn how to make it do it justice.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's a great idea, yeah.
Because most of the time you're just trying to describe it and trying to show what your phone took a picture of,
right.
And people just don't get it. And even spectacular pictures aren't going to make them fully get it unless you're standing there. But
it still adds a little depth to it.
Yeah.
One thing that you were showing that I thought was really cool is that let's say you're at a waterfall, and you told me all the settings. I can't remember exactly what you said. You set it up in such a way that the landscape around the waterfall is crystal clear, but the water looks like it's moving in a still photograph. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's like a motion.
Yeah, it's like fuzzy
movement. Yeah, there's a movement to it, and that's pretty cool.
So the photography thing's gonna be freaking cool, man. I'm excited about it. I've actually always wanted to get into photography, but I've never had money to buy a super nice camera, and
right.
And then I wasn't going to go to school and learn how to do it, so I had to wait till all this shit was available on YouTube, which is how I learned everything in my life. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to get to try out that.
All right, cool. So one thing I did want to ask you about is you were just on somebody's podcast recently.
I was.
Yeah. What was that?
That was, I talked about it before on the show. That was the John frickin' Muir pod.
Right.
Super cool, dude. That guy.
You kind of, right? So you were on the flip side.
Yeah, I was just on his podcast. Right. He was talking to me about hiking the John Muir Trail, obviously, but also on about Naked and Afraid. Pretty sure I was first Naked and Afraider on his show.
That's cool.
Yep, but it's pretty cool. And that was fun. His show hasn't aired yet, but he said at the moment he thought that this guy is busy, dude. He's doing like 2 a week. That's like
crazy,
Joe
dude.
Rogan style, and he's got a full-time job too, I think. But anyway, June 12th, I believe, is when he said that mine should be coming out. So
that'll be fun, and he's got a lot of listeners.
yeah. Oh, he's got a ton. I'm hoping
money
they
in this
come along our way after that, and then we can retire and
yeah,
and just sit here and talk about outdoorsing.
Yep. So, well, cool, man. So next Thursday, where we typically record, you are going to be heading out to go camping.
Yeah,
so we probably won't record then.
It's turning into more of a bi-monthly.
Yeah. Well, no, but
bi-weekly
podcast. We'll make a podcast out of it when you get back. So that'll be fun. Take lots of pictures.
Oh, I'm going to get all kinds of pictures and footage, and it won't be a podcast, but it'll be a Never Inside video, at least. Right. So it'll be cool. That's pretty much it. You guys, it doesn't need to be a long one today. We want to make sure that you guys are following everything that we have, whether it's on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, all the stuff, all the things.
I'd like to ask a favor of you guys listening. So you heard that I'm going to put I think about a 3-inch lift, right? That sounds like that's about where you want to go before you start getting these long arms and all these different things that are a little bit different.
That was like the limit to where it gets a lot more expensive.
It gets more expensive, right? And so I think you and I have worked in cars quite a bit, and I think that putting on the 3-inch lift should be no problem. I mean, we get all the tools we need and
save $1,000
and save $1,000 in labor. So we're going to put that on. But if any of you know about the XJ Jeeps and lifts, if you see this, and you may not be seeing this until we actually do this, but suggestions on brand name, model, different types of lifts to stay away from, because there's, you have a problem in installation or something, ones that you've used that are super easy to put in. Any of that in the comments would be super cool. You might
maybe one that's like easy to upgrade beyond what you did. To initially
or something I'm not even thinking about. Right? It's one of those things that we got it in the air and we got all the parts out and we're like, oh shit! If I'd have known that, that'd have been cool. If anybody wants to throw that out there to us, that'd be great. But I think we're just gonna dig right in.
Heck yes.
So
that's it.
But
all right,
cool.
That's it. Send us stuff to neverinsideco@gmail.com if you want us to talk about anything. Got any questions? Got any suggestions? You want to tell us to go pound sand? You do what you got to do.
Yeah.
We get it.
We can
trust
handle
me.
that too.
I know I'm terrible at this, so it's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings. They're already destroyed.
He's been married for quite a while.
Yeah.
So, all right. On that, we thank you guys for watching and listening.
That's it.
And that's it.
Let's outside.
Thank you again to all of our outsiders. Please check out our website, neverinside.com, for all of your gear. And you can reach out to Never Inside on Facebook and @NeverInside on Instagram. Let's outside.